Well, what's going on? What happened to our mics? Check.
Can you hear me? Nope. Yeah, no, I can't hear.
Well, there's this old saying in sports, better late than never, and I think that we've lived that here tonight at the W.E. Osmond. No, I'm sorry, at Gratian Gym. If we were at the field house, this would be a lot easier. Welcome, everybody, to Gratian Gymnasium and our coverage of Viking volleyball tonight here on the Voice of the Vikings, the Voice of the Valley, KOBC, with video coverage on newsdakota.com and also at the Valley City State University Viking Athletics YouTube channel. Tonight, Valley City State is at home to take on Dakota State University. We are just into the announcement of the non-starters. We had a myriad of technical problems. In fact, my counterpart tonight, Jayden Babiak, would probably tell you that he's impressed we got on the air at all, based on all the different switching and pulling that we had to do. But somehow, some way, we found a way, and now tonight the Vikings will take on Dakota State. And Jayden, if you're ever thinking about a line of work similar to this one, you just saw why not to do it, Jayden. So you better love what's on the floor because that's why you do it, I guess, in this situation.
Yeah, that's right. And that's, I don't know, the ladies haven't performed yet, but Ryan, I think we saw the performance of the night. You getting this this stream ready, this radio broadcast ready, and yeah, we're ready for some Viking volleyball here tonight at the Gratian Gym.
Tonight, it's Valley City State and the Dakota State University Trojans. And for the Viking volleyball team, it's the end of the regular season. A chance to improve their profile before they go into tournament volleyball, which happens not this weekend, but next weekend. They've got Bellevue, who just knocked off the previously undefeated University of Jamestown Jimmies last weekend and perhaps took home court advantage in the NSAA tournament. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But for this Viking volleyball team, Jayden, we were there when we saw the injury to middle blocker Danielle Hagler. This team has been trying to sort of trend up with a new lineup, and I think they're doing that. A sweep of Mayville State in their last matchup up in Mayville. It's a big, impressive performance coming into this one tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you look at the next two teams on the schedule. You got Dakota State, you got Bellevue. So you got two big opponents to keep riding that momentum into the conference tournament here. And now you have home court advantage for these next two games. So you got to harness that and take advantage of it.
Absolutely. The Viking volleyball team is ready. They've announced their starters tonight. Their starters will be Rosie Anderson, also Morgan Nelson, Macy Fridgen, Emma Lucas, Delaney Clark, and setter Sadie Hansen, and the libero J.C. Richter set to check in a couple of moments. And for Dakota State University, Madeline Groft, their all-star setter, will start tonight in the back row, along with Macy Wathen in the back row. We'll also see Logan Conlon in the back row tonight. And the front row for Dakota State is impressive. Hannah Evans will start in the front row. Brooklyn Grage will start in the front row. And also Sydney Schell will start in the front row. And we'll talk more about those Dakota State University Trojans when we have the opportunity to get going tonight. We thank you for joining us for Viking volleyball in this matchup tonight. Again, we had a bit of a struggle to get ready to go here at Gratian, and at some point we'll have to talk with our friends about how this thing's going to go at Gratian in the future. But Madeline Groft will step back to serve for Dakota State University, and we're underway with volleyball. Delaney Clark with a pass, right side. Fridgen gets blocked, and the Vikings are still with it. This will be free balled over by Rosie Anderson for Valley City State. Up front, big push down the middle for number 10. That'll be Hannah Evans that comes over the first kill, and Dakota State takes a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, a bit of a miscue there by Richter. Obviously trying to settle in this home crowd here for the Vikings. They haven't been at home for a while, Ryan. This last stretch, almost this entire October, we've seen the Vikings on the road.
We'll take a look at some of the players to watch in this one coming up in a couple of moments. We'll run through the standings as well. Our normal pregame elements brought to you by Sanford Health Valley City. Here for all and here for good as Groff gets ready to serve again for Dakota State. Pass again from Clark. This time Rosie Anderson from the outside hit the back corner, and the point will go to the Vikings. It'll be 1-1.
Yeah, found that open space back corner there for Anderson. And, you know, Ryan, I saw your graphic pregame. She's going to be important for the Vikings.
Standings coming into tonight, you can see the University of Jamestown is in first place, but they're down tiebreakers to Bellevue, and we'll talk about why that's important as we continue along throughout the course of the night as the Vikings serve with J.C. Richter getting the serving going. This will come to the outside, and attack is down on the back row for Sydney Schell, and it's 2-1. Let's get our scoreboard update in favor of Dakota State. So with Bellevue University taking over first place in the NSAA, and what they did was they beat UJ. There are tiebreakers between the two teams. They favor Bellevue as they split the regular season. Morgan Nelson attacking the middle. It's kept alive by Dakota State. A tip on the near side of the floor for the Trojans. Vikings returning. Rosie Anderson from the right side scores. That'll tie things up at 2 apiece. But again, in the NSAA this year, the semifinals and finals move to the home site of the number 1 seed. And UJ was cruising till they got swept by Bellevue. That shifts the tiebreakers to the Bruins. And so if these two teams stay on their one-loss path inside the standings, that means that Bellevue gets to host the semis and finals and not UJ. Grage attacking from the right side. Point to the Vikings as Dakota State looks for a tip. It's 3-2 Valley City State by 1. So that was a big win, and was a big win for the Vikings as well, because they're now having to go a long way away compared to playing their conference tournament in Jamestown. So when they play Bellevue coming up on Friday, there's something to play for. Emma Lucas with an attack from the outside for the Vikings. Back to the near edge, and a big bruising swing right down the middle for Dakota State's Haley Wathen. Boy, we'll go to the Vikings, or rather the Trojans, and we're tied at 3. So imagine this, Jaden. If you can help out your friends, if you're the Vikings and you help out the University of Jamestown, you help yourself by giving yourself a 30-minute trip in the tournament instead of about 12 hours down to Bellevue. That's an amazing turn of events at the end of the year. Morgan Freege tipping for Valley City State. Back set to the right side. Grage going court wide, hits the winner. Dakota State takes a 4-3 lead. You'd have never thought you would be wanting to help out UJ.
That's right.
But if you help out UJ, you help you, and it's all about you, right?
Exactly, absolutely. And, you know, especially, you know, we know about those big road trips. Those can take a toll on you, and definitely 30 minutes down the road a little better. Rosie
Anderson from the right side. Huge one-handed swing by Kate Van Ruyen in the back row into a joust that Grage wins, but the Vikings save. Sadie Hansen will send it back over. Back to the outside again. Wathen attacking the middle on a tip. She'll score. Dakota State takes a 5-3 lead here in the opening set on our LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. So a 2-point lead for Dakota State. Kate Van Ruyen, a sophomore defensive specialist, is back to serve. She's the libero for the team. We'll take a look at the players to watch here in a couple of moments. Pass coming out of the back row. That's a tough one for Reagan Bogenreef. Rosie Anderson standing behind the 3-meter line sends it over. Here's a tip to the middle out of the back row by Wathen. Lucas kept it afloat. Morgan Freege attacking. Covered by Madeline Groff for the Trojans. Grage again from the right side. Vikings cover that. Anderson on the attack is long. And the point will go to Dakota State. In the players to watch tonight for the Trojans, Brooklyn Grage, 215 kills. Sydney Schell, who we saw earlier in the front row, 248 kills. But Madeline Groff has 515 assists and 248 digs for Dakota State, and that's in the 6-2 lineup, so she's a tremendous all-around player for the Trojans. She'll be one to watch in the back row when she sets tonight for the Trojans. Rosie Anderson from the right side got through traffic and Groff, dug that up for Dakota State, into a tip of the net. That's 4 contacts, and the whistle will come late, but it will come. The Vikings will benefit from a 4-contact fault against the Trojans, and it's 5-4, the Vikings down by 1.
Yeah, Dakota State was looking to plead their case there, but they're not going to get it in this case. So 5-4 here, and the Vikings need to get some momentum here from this home crowd.
Ellie Rush set to serve for Valley City State, steps in for a defensive rotation in the back row for the Vikings. Rush serving, taken up back row by Dakota State on a good pass. Groff is setting, but the set was long. Pushed over by Wathen. Second contact, Sadie Hansen sent it over. Back to Wathen, tipping deep, found the back line. Dakota State with a solid read from Haley Wathen, a senior out of Rapid City. That'll make it a 7-4 lead for Dakota State.
Yeah, good touch there by Wathen. Found the open space in that Viking defense and made them pay. Doesn't have to be hard when you put it in the right spot, Ryan.
Gracie Schumacher will come on the floor now to serve, rather to play defense for Valley City State. And the serve for Dakota State on the way from Maddie Langrock. Near side from the right, it's Freegee into the net on an error for the Vikings. Trojans up 4 here in the opening set. Got a decent crowd here tonight at Gratian Gym. It'll get loud in here if the Vikings can go on a rally, and they'll need to go on a rally here at some point. Serve on the way again from Maddie Langrock, taken by Reagan Bogenreef out of the back row, and a swing by Emma Lucas is dug back across the net in an error. And the point will go to the Vikings, making it 8-5. Valley City State back within 3.
Vikings needed that one. Big swing there by Lucas, and this crowd, they got to come to life. Like you said, Ryan, it's going to get loud if the Vikings can go on a run here.
Lexi Thorsgaard will step into the matchup to serve for the Vikings. Ran down back row by Von Ruyen. And a little tip going down the middle that time from Wathen. Vikings there, Freegee tipping towards the near side. Von Ruyen stepped up into that. It'll go to the outside. Dakota State sends it over with Tristan Maris. Big swing, Macy Frigid attacking the back row and scoring for the Vikings, and they're back within 2. 8-6 opening set on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard in favor of Dakota State. Lexi Thorsgaard will serve for the Vikings. It's be pushed towards the middle. Big swing that got through a block up front and down. The Vikings will get the block up front for Morgan Freegee. Teaming up front, Freegee able to go up and take away a big matchup right in the middle of the net, and the point to the Vikings cuts the lead to 1 at 8-7. Lexi Thorsgaard serving again for the Vikings. This will be set back towards the near side. That might have gone into the net. Vikings want a 4 contact fault. This is going to fall on the far line, and the point's going to go to Dakota State. And the Vikings were lobbying for 4 contacts right away. They won't get the call.
Yeah, I hear their bench right next to me, Ryan. They wanted that one, but good couple rallies there for the Vikings. Got themselves within 1. That's the kind of rally they need to get back into this set.
Down by 2 here in the opener. And they're consulting right now with the scoreboard. I put an extra point on the scoreboard for Dakota State to keep up with what was up there tonight. I may have missed one earlier. They were checking.
That's all right. We've been playing catch-up all night, Ryan. Just a miracle we're here right now.
Logan Conlon serving. Reagan Bogenreef. This will be back set to Freegee, who got blocked. Gracie Schumacher reached back to dig it up. Frigid around contact. Taken back row by Von Ruyen. This will come back out towards the outside. Sent across on a swing by Sydney Schell. Back to Frigid. Paints the line and scores. And the Vikings are back within 1.
Through the block there, Frigid. A power swing and bit of back and forth action since they cut the lead here for the Vikings.
Vikings went down by 4. They're back within 1 as Morgan Nelson returns to the front row. And Delaney Clark will step back to serve. Clark serving. Von Ruyen was there. Comes back near side, and Schell going down the near line will score. Block didn't materialize for her. And a bit of a frustrated head coach of Michelle Micklejohn on the near side of the bench, getting upset that a block didn't materialize on that outside for Dakota State. Lead back to 2 at 10-8 for the Trojans. Serving is Reagan Von Ruyen. This will be set back to Frigid, tipping towards the middle. Good cover by Schell, getting down for first contact, and powering through the block is Tristan Maris, who will score for the Trojans. Pushes the lead back to 3 at 11-8.
A lot of momentum swings early in this game. We're seeing points in bunches here. Dakota State went up 4. Valley City makes it, cuts lead to 1. Dakota State back up 3.
11-8 Trojans by 3. Gracie Schumacher backing up on the ball, and Hansen trying to attack, sent it long. Point to the Trojans makes it 12-8.
There was open space there for Hansen. Unfortunately, just nicked it wide, and sometimes you got to make those hero plays. Sometimes you got to take those risks. Didn't pay off for this time.
12-8 in favor of the Trojans. They matched their biggest lead of the opening set. Frigid got through a block and scores. She's had a nice night. Some big swings from the outside for Macy Frigid so far tonight. And the Vikings have cut the lead to 3 by a score of 12-9.
Yeah, second of the night for Frigid. And again, you're going to need a rally here as you fear the Vikings.
Chasing the scoreboard, like you mentioned,
That's
throughout
right.
the course of the night, right? And you're on your home turf, and so you feel like you can put one of those rallies together. An attack by the Trojans right down the middle. Hannah Evans junior middle hitter out of Jasper, Minnesota, comes up with the swing, makes it 13-9. They've got a big front row. We mentioned Brooklyn Grage, probably one of their big weapons up front, and then Sydney Schell also from the outside, but you can see there's some depth behind their statistical leaders as you watch this team play tonight. Near side, Phrygian got around contact, paints the far sideline. What a play for Macy Phrygian to go up and get that one. And the Vikings have a 13-10 lead.
That'd be the Trojans there,
13-10
yes.
deficit, my apologies. 13-10, the Trojans have their lead cut to 3. J.C. Richter will step back to serve for the Vikings. Taking back row and a deep dive back for Logan Conklin out of the back row. Schell up and over contact. Taken up by J.C. Richter. Morgan Nelson blocked but punched it alive. Hansen sends it over on second contact. This will be played back to the right. Grage trying to go deep. Vikings dug it up with Delaney Clark. Rosie Anderson from the right. Tipped in the middle. Dakota State second contact. A pancake by Sadie Hansen. Kept it afloat. Emma Lucas will send it over. Back to the Trojans. Deep push. That's in the net. 4 contacts. Illegal contact will be the call. And that's a key moment. It's not 4 contacts. They're going to call Evans for too much hand on the push. And that's a key difference in that call. 4 contacts, you don't penalize the swing. They penalize the swing on that. And so Evans will have to adjust to that middle push. Here she swings away and hits it in the net. And that's why that moment a couple of moments ago was key, Jaden. You saw her vary her approach because of that call in the last rally.
Yep, absolutely. And it definitely looked like she tried to more so dump it than a hit, Ryan. And again, Valley City within 1 in this set.
J.C. Richter serving, and this is down. An error in receiving for Dakota State. And the Vikings, with 4 in a row, have tied up the opening set at 13.
Yeah, first real miscue for Dakota State. They've been playing pretty clean, pretty solid, and for Valley City, they'll take that all day.
J.C. Richter will serve for the Vikings. Richter on the way over, dug very near the net, and this one just barely tipped across by Grage on a broken play. Emma Lucas from the outside for the Vikings. Taken up by Von Royen. They'll set back to the right. A push down the far sideline from Hannah Evans. Vikings caught it. Turn, and Emma Lucas will score. And the Vikings take a 14-13 lead. And a timeout will be taken by Dakota State, and that's a big one. The Vikings leading by a score of 14-13 on your LaRue Laco Financial Scoreboard. We have a timeout for Mobility Plus Rehabilitation. This is Viking Volleyball.
Looking for a college experience where you can get a degree and make a difference? Valley City State University is the top public regional college in North Dakota, as ranked by U.S. News & World Report. Visit today at vcsu.edu/visit.
Welcome back to Viking Volleyball here on KOVC, the voice of the Valley, on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com with video coverage. Moment ago on our newsdakota.com replay, Emma Lucas gives us a good look at what it takes to come up with a lead, and it starts with that play, the dig, and Lucas twisting and turning down the middle, and the Vikings have taken the lead on that play from Emma Lucas. On our newsdakota.com replay, 14-13, the Vikings by 1 at the midway point of the opening set, and I feel like the Vikings feel pretty confident right now, Jaden. They found a little groove here.
Absolutely, and they forced Dakota State to use their first time out here, and again, they've been down 4 twice, and so I think they're not too upset to have the lead here, Ryan.
J.C. Richter serving for Valley City State. This will come back near side. Joust at the net, blocked. Rosie Anderson blocks Grage for the point, and the Vikings go up 15-13.
And ever since that penalty on Grage, that Dakota State front attack has not looked necessarily the smoothest, the most solid. And Valley City definitely finding some points off of that.
Serve from J.C. Richter again, right side, Schell tipping. And there to cover it was J.C. Richter. Up front, Morgan Nelson getting through a touch. Von Royen has to make second contact. Schell from the outside found the back line. And that will cut the Viking rally and cut the lead down to 1 at 15-14. Take a look at some of the numbers that we have at this point individually, if we can find them. There they are. Valley City State being led by Macy Phrygian with 4 kills. Emma Lucas and Rosie Anderson, 2 kills apiece. And Anderson hit the antenna on that swing. And the point's going to go to Dakota State. That will tie it up at 15. 30 rallies in the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard, all even, 15 apiece. Trojans will serve. It'll be Sydney Schell stepping back to do the serving. Hard line drive. Emma Lucas dug it near the net, saved by Hansen. Nelson fires through a block and scores. And the Vikings will take a 16-15 lead.
I don't think Graves knew she got a good piece of that. It went right up in the air, and she was looking for it. And again, Valley City finding that hole in that Dakota State front. See if they can keep exploiting that.
Reagan Bogenreef will go back to serve for the Vikings. Bogenreef's serve is on the way. Schell got back to it in the back row. Be sent to the right side for Grage, up and over contact. Free ball back over. Deep tip is down. Big play up front for the Trojans as they come up with a tip up front and a free ball from Haley Wathen.
Yeah, good smart play there. Had the space, made the tip, and again, all tied up here. No team can really seem to get much after the Valley City State Vikings came back from that 4-point deficit.
Von Ruyen commits a service error. Point will go to the Vikings. This is a Viking team that was swept down at Dakota State when they made the trip. It was early after the injury to Danielle Hagler, and Dakota State replaced the Vikings as the third team getting votes in the national poll. Serve on the way, and it's a let's serve that the Trojans able to save off the net. Ellie Rush that came up with a serve, and Morgan Freege from the right side will attack and score. And the Vikings go up 2 at 18-16. This matches their biggest lead of the night as Morgan Freege comes up with a play from the right pin.
And I can't believe Dakota State kept that ball up on the serve as it hit the net. But again, Valley City put them away there in that rally.
Ellie Rush will serve again for the Vikings. Deep service error. Point to the Trojans. 35 rallies in. It's a 1-point matchup. Gracie Schumacher set to come back on the floor for the Vikings. She'll replace Ellie Rush in the back row. Rush, an accomplished server. That position is a defensive specialist spot. So Rush will come in to serve. Schumacher replaces her on the defensive side. Freege up and over contact. Taken far side by Langrock for Dakota State. Powering through contact and scoring. On the right side, I believe, is going to be Hannah Evans. Let me make a correction. That'll be Tristan Maris that will score that play for Dakota State, and it will tie things up at 18 apiece. Serve on the way again. Taken back row by Reagan Bogenreef. Set, right side. Actually, rather the outside for Ellie Lucas. Near side, little tip towards the middle that time. Run down by J.C. Richter. Emma Lucas again trying to go far line. Off to the right, deep push. Another one of those push into a joust. Saved up front by Morgan Freege. Lucas gets through a touch. Dakota State again. This time they have to make a broken play. Schumacher dug it up. Lucas is blocked and on the far sideline. Boy, the Trojans win a spirited rally and take a 19-18 lead.
Yeah, and definitely got a little bit lucky. Obviously, more of a block that stayed in bounds for the Trojans rather than an attack, but they all count for the same. And again, yeah, good rally there by both teams.
Maddie Langerock will go back to serve for Dakota State. Serve on the way. Schumacher dug it very near the net. Tough pass. Freege trying to make do with it. Sends it down the middle. Back towards the near side. A deep try by Haley Wathen with all she could do with it. Lucas has to tip a tough play. Comes back to the Vikings on a free ball. The Vikings cover and Lucas attack it. Von Ruyen dug it up for Dakota State. Another play by Wathen. That's a hard smash towards the back corner. And that's going to force a timeout from Valley City State. So the Vikings will call for timeout. Timeout brought to you by Mobility Plus Rehabilitation. On the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard, 2018 Dakota State in the first, and we're back with more in a moment.
This is Dr. Amanda Heck, physical therapist with Mobility Plus Rehabilitation, with offices in Valley City, Lisbon, Gwinner, and Enderlin. Our mission is to provide exceptional physical and occupational therapy by highly skilled therapists to minimize pain and maximize mobility, which allows you to return to the quality of life you desire. From sports injuries to work-related injuries, neurological diagnosis, and pediatric development delays, we will evaluate and educate you on your condition, review treatment options, and create an effective treatment plan to solve your impairments based on your unique situation and needs. I invite you to call our offices at Mobility Plus today.
Vikings call their first timeout, had a 2-point lead at 18-16. Dakota State has won 4 in a row on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. It's 2018 Dakota State as the Trojans get to 21st here in the opening set. Ryan Cunningham, Jaden Babiak. Tell you what, Jaden, this is crunch time for the Vikings. They've had some confidence going, but Dakota State's made some big plays as of late against a couple of tough rallies.
Absolutely, and when the Vikings at their best, they're attacking that Dakota State front. They're finding the holes, and right now they don't seem to be doing that, and when they do that, they'll have success.
Maddie Langerock set to serve for Dakota State. Vikings need a big side out of the timeout. Langerock's serve is a let. Bogenreef saved it. Schumacher will send it across, but it's a free ball. Dakota State working back to the right side and powering through is Kristen Maris. Another point for the Trojans. Good aggressive serve that took the Vikings on the tempo.
Yeah, it was another one of those where struggled to keep it up, but had to make a couple plays, and then the free ball over allowed Dakota State to set up their attack.
This Trojan team coming into this season was in an interesting spot because you come into the conference where you know that Jamestown, Bellevue, they're going to get into the national tournament. Probably 4 teams from the conference aren't. That's more than half your league. So it's either you or Valley City State, and that's why these matches are so valuable to them. Emma Lucas swinging away on a free ball and scoring. Vikings cut the lead to 2 at 21-19.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, Ryan, to get to those places, to get to those national tournaments, those opening rounds, you got to beat good teams. You have to beat good teams. And again, this is kind of the matchup that you're looking for here, if you're both teams, to solidify why you belong in that opening round.
Vikings serving with Lexi Thorsgaard to the near side into a second contact play up front out of Sadie Hansen. Hansen will try again on second contact. Van Royen ran it down to the middle of the net. Big swing up front from Macy Wathern. Now it's a try up front by Macy Fridgen for the Vikings. Covered up by Dakota State. They'll push line and score. Another headsy play by Haley Wathen, who goes right down the line and scores to make it 22-19 Trojans.
Yeah, and that's one for Valley City. You probably want back here, and especially with this set coming to an end, down by 3, you got to make something happen.
Big stand is needed right here. Logan Conlon will step back to serve for Dakota State. Schumacher, the pass out of the back row. Back set, right pin, Freegee off a tip. That's going to score. Morgan Freegee gets her team to 20. Now the Vikings will rotate. This will put Delaney Clark back in the back row. Morgan Nelson up front. And the Vikings probably like this rotation, although Sadie Hansen still in the front row for the Vikings in this trip. Van Royen up front. Big attack that got through a block and scores from Macy Wathen. 23-20 for the Trojans.
And that's going to be Dakota State's bread and butter all day. Powerful, powerful attack in the front. Just abusing that Valley City block. And if you're Valley City, you got to find a way to neutralize it.
Reagan Van Royen will step back to serve for Dakota State with their team up 3. Serve to the back row, Schumacher making the pass. Fridgen from the outside, covered on the tip. Dakota State has it. Up front, the attack from Grage, partially tipped. A deep push by Hansen. It's run down by the Trojans. Up front, Shell attacking, missed it wide. No tip is the call from R1. Dakota State gives one back on an error. The Vikings back within 2.
Yeah, and Dakota State wanted a tip right away, but I didn't think they were going to get it. Looked for that opposite side and just didn't find it there.
This will be the big offensive rotation now for the Vikings with Rosie Anderson coming back to the front row. They're going to have to come up with a couple of big blocks if they can find them. There's one. Grage tipping. It can't be saved by Dakota State. Morgan Nelson with the block up front.
And just what the doctor ordered there, Ryan, you said it best. They need to come up with a block, and they did. Big block there. Dakota State couldn't recover.
They'll need another one here. 23-22. Serve on the way from Sadie Hansen. This will be set back to the near side. Shell tipping over the contact. The Vikings with it. Fridgen taking care of it. And that one's going to score. We're tied at 23. It's the first to 2 in a row here at Gratian Gym. And a timeout taken by Dakota State, their second. We're tied at 23 on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. We have a timeout for Mobility Plus Rehabilitation. And we're back with more in a moment on Viking Volleyball.
Are you on the right financial path? Are all your financial professionals on the same page? At LaRue Laco Financial, you can be assured that your investment professional and tax professional are working together. Call Ryan LaRue or Chase Carpenter at 701-845-6938. Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA, SIPC.
Well, it can't be any closer than this. Dakota State, Valley City State, all even. 23 each here in the opening set. First team to win 2 in a row wins it, and you cannot overstate the value of this rally coming out of the Dakota State timeout. They know if they get the side out, they've got the opportunity to serve for the set. And what really the Vikings, again, are going to need here is a block against the play they're drawing up.
Yep, absolutely. You said it best. Sorry, Ryan, you said it best. And, yeah, I think Dakota State, they'd want a couple back there, a couple miscues on the front. And, again, that bread and butter for them is going to be when that attack is powerful and getting through that Valley City block.
23-23, even here in the set. And the serve on the way from Sadie Hansen for the Vikings. This will be set back to the near side. Shell got through contact. The Vikings save it. J.C. Richter has to send it over in free ball style. Up front, Grage tipping. Again deep, and again Delaney Clark ran it down. Now it's Phrygian that sends it over. Another try for Dakota State. Shell tipping. Morgan Nelson saved it, and it's hit long by Dakota State. And the point will go to the Vikings, bringing up set point Valley City State.
Couple big plays there for Valley City State coming from a bunch of different players, and they got that all-important block and then sent long there by Dakota State. Bit of a miscue.
Serving away from Sadie Hansen for the Vikings. Right pin down through contact off the right side. They swing their offense back to Tristan Maris, and we're tied at 24.
And we keep going, here, Ryan.
First to 2 in a row.
Yep.
It's basically like a tennis match at this point. Advantage, deuce. Advantage, deuce. You got to get one past advantage to win. Serve on the way from Madeline Groft. Vikings set it up for Rosie Anderson from the outside. Big dig from Von Royen kept it afloat. Shell tipping back row. Delaney Clark was there. Phrygian from the outside is down. Advantage Vikings, 25-24.
And again, you got to get through that big Dakota State front, and they did it well there. I believe that's kill number 3 there for Macy Phrygian on the night. Sorry, 5. I'm looking at the wrong numbers there, Ryan.
Another opportunity here for the Vikings to try to close out the set on serve. And a tip across, whistle, illegal contact coming up. It's a double against Dakota State. An error against the Trojans will end the opening set. And the Vikings take home set 1, 26-24 over Dakota State tonight to take a 1-set-to-none lead in the matchup. Intermission report, second set on the way in a couple of moments. Stay with us. This is our coverage of Viking volleyball here on the Voice of the Vikings, Voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Grotberg Electric believes in quality first, taking pride in the work and standing behind every project they do. They bring together the power, technology, and experience to keep your business online. The success of Grotberg Electric depends on 3 major ideals: the quality of their products, the commitment to their customers, and most of all, their customer service. Call Grotberg Electric today at 845-3010 or visit them online, grotbergelectric.com.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
Why choose Professional Eye Care Centers? 3 great reasons are Dr. Bond, Dr. Freilich, and Dr. Jangula, 3 of the most educated professional optometrists you'll ever meet. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit proeyecarecenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best.
Looking for a quality, affordable education to get you the career you want? Strengthen your resume with a degree from Valley City State University. From education to business, fisheries and wildlife to software engineering. We have it all. Learn more about becoming a Viking today.
welcome you back to our coverage of Viking volleyball. The Vikings will take the opening lead in the match, 26-24 in the opening set. The Vikings will lead over Dakota State University by a score of 1-0 as we get ready for the second set. Macy Frigid with 5 kills. The Vikings get 2 from Morgan Frigi, 2 from Emma Lucas, 2 from Rosie Anderson. A block from Morgan Nelson, a block from Morgan Frigi, another block from Rosie Anderson as well, which was a big part of what went on in that opening set. And the Vikings and Trojans will switch sides and get ready to go for set number 2 as we make our way into the second. So it'll be an interesting one now with the Vikings sort of setting the tone as we go to the second set. It's be very interesting to see how Dakota State responds. Going to hand off my microphone to Landon, and we'll see Jaden Babiak take you through the second. Go ahead, Jaden.
All right, thank you, Ryan. And you know, when you work with a guy like Ryan, you kind of learn to lean on him. You kind of learn that he'll run the show for you. But I'm joined now by Landon Peel here as in the color spot, and hopefully we can do just as good of a job as Ryan. We're going to do just good enough not to take his job yet. How you doing, Landon?
Good. Thank you for having me, Jaden. I'm honored to be here. I'm excited to get going.
I'll tell you what, we saw an interesting first set here for the Vikings. Never really had control over that set. I think Dakota State really wanted that one, and you know, during that intermission, we saw, at least I saw by the booth, Dakota State's head coach not happy with that final call, as it was an illegal contact call. That ended the set there. So Valley City State up 1-0, and Sadie Hansen will get it started here serving for the Vikings. And Landon, if I miss something or something goes wrong, you're going to have to help me out here.
All right, I'll try. I'll give him my 2 cents whenever needed.
Hansen serves here, and Dakota State sets up their attack. And first point to Dakota State. That's numbers 12, Sydney Shell there for Dakota State.
You know, that's what you love. After losing a hard first set, coming out firing, just off rip, getting that kill to go down.
Absolutely, and Dakota State, they've looked really good when that front has been good for them. Powerful attack here is that Sydney Shell that'll serve here. Sadie Hansen keeps it up, and it'll be free balled over by Rosie Anderson. Again, setting up their attack, that's Grage. Clark will dig that up. Hansen sets Morgan Nelson, blocked there. And Frigid, another block there from that Dakota State front. A bit of jousting at the net, and it'll be Dakota State's point. They're up 2-0 to start this set. Couple good hard attacks there from the Dakota State Trojans. That's Brooklyn Graves leading the attack.
Definitely great attack from their front line. Couldn't let the Viking hitters get anything past them right there. Keeping it at bay.
Yeah, and then a bit of improvisation there to get the point. A little bit of jousting. Ball was kind of popping around, and we'll see Sydney Shell back to serve for the Trojans here. 2-0 Dakota State leads. Second set. Shell serves dug up by Clark. Hansen will set to Morgan Nelson. Blocked. Hansen pushes it to the back corner. Kept up by Shell. Attacked there by Wathen. Frigid with the power, and she'll get it through contact. It was Kate Van Ruyen who tried to dive and get the dig. And Valley City State with their first point of the set.
Great answer from the Vikings, going down 2-0. You can't let them get 3 in a row, so getting that one can definitely change the tides back to VCSU.
Absolutely, and points came in bunches last set for both teams. That'll be Richter on the serve, and Ruyen digs it up. And that's Wathen, big attack, and it just misses that line there. It's all tied up at 2, and I think that went clean through. I don't think Dakota State was looking for a touch there, and it'll be back to J.C. Richter to serve it here for the Vikings. 2-2, second set here at the Gratian Gymnasium, and it's a service error there for Richter.
You know, going back to the point before, Wathen's gotten a lot of those kills to go down. Just let it air it out a little bit too much.
Absolutely. Check out the statistics here. Macy Frigid leading the way for the Vikings in kills, and let me get my studio back here. I think that might be something here that we'll work on in a bit. And we're going to get a stoppage here. I believe that's illegal contact. Point for Dakota State. Let's find our studio. There we go. We're back here, and you know they tell you the technology is the hardest part, and boy was it ever early today. And just got it ready at game cam. Van Rooyen will serve, dug up by Clark. Hansen on the set. Nelson tips it to the middle, finds the hole. Point for Valley City State there. Good aware play there by Morgan Nelson.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a buzzer beater, if you will, coming into the game. Didn't know if we'd have visuals, but we got that going right as the clock is winding down.
Yeah, absolutely. Reagan Bogenreif will be in here to serve. It's 4-3 Trojans. Pops it up, and it's an ace. Bit of popped up serve there, finds the hole. Bogenreif ties this set up at 4.
That's definitely a hard serve to read. When you're used to just the balls coming in with a good velocity, just that little blooper.
Absolutely.
Just messes with your visuals, with your brain a little bit there.
Absolutely, and the change up there from Bogenreif. She'll serve again. Another pop-up, finds the net. Kept up that time by Van Rooyen. Wathen over, set there by Bogenreif. Lucas, back to Wathen here. Tipped over, finds the middle, good block there, good dig rather by Richter. Frigi tries to push it across, Hansen sets, Rosie Anderson, and that's wide right there. Missed everything, and they're giving the point to the Vikings, I believe. They're saying Dakota State got a tip. Did you see anything, Landon? I didn't see anything there. I didn't know.
No, neither did I.
Might have been a tip there at the net.
I kind of had my heart made up that it was Trojans' point, but they flipped
it did
to
look
the
like it. It absolutely did, but Valley City will get the point. That's their first lead of the set here. Another serve by Bogenreif. Sets up, and a miscue there. I believe that was Sadie Hansen. A little miscue. We're tied up at 5. And again, neither team really able to make any ground. The biggest lead we saw in that first set was Dakota State. They led by 4 twice. And that's what I said earlier. I think that Dakota State would like to have that first set back, as they had the lead more than Valley City. Dakota State will serve. It'll be Maddie Langerock. Dug up there by Bogenreif. Set Frigi. Good dig there. And Hansen will set here for the Vikings. Lucas blocked at the net by Tristan Maris. It might have been a team effort at the net, but point Dakota State regardless. Good block there, and they've made their money on that block up front. Their attack's been powerful, and when they've been able to post the block up, they've been a really good-looking team. Serve here will be the southpaw, Maddie Langerock, and bit of an ace there. Dakota State, 7-5 lead here in set number 2.
Yeah. The Trojan front wall has been kind of really consistent today with getting that block down and really keeping the Viking hitters at bay.
Absolutely. They've looked really good when their front has been at their best. Richter digs the serve up from Langerock. And it'll be point Dakota State as that's sent wide.
Well, the Trojans have gotten 4 points in a row. Now would be a great moment for them to either the break opener of the game or the Vikings to get one back and turn the tides a little bit.
Absolutely. And you know, you wonder, when do you take the timeout? It is early in the set, but Frigi will try the kill. Blocked up, dug up there. It'll be back to Wathen. Off of Richter, it'll hit the wall, and Dakota State takes the lead 9-5, and I think we're gonna get a timeout here. Yes, the Vikings will take a timeout. So we'll be right back here from the Gratian Gymnasium. This is Jane Babiak and Landon Peel.
When you're craving the taste of juicy, flavorful, locally sourced beef and pork, look no further than your locally owned Valley Meat Supply. At Valley Meat Supply, we take pride in bringing you the finest cuts of beef and pork straight from local producers. So whether you're planning a mouth-watering barbecue or a cozy family meal, choose Valley Meat Supply for the highest quality, locally grown beef, pork, and award-winning jerky, sticks, and sausage. Valley Meat Supply, West Main, Valley City. Your taste buds will thank you.
And we're back here at the Gratian Gymnasium. Dakota State leads the second set 9-5. Coming out of a Valley City timeout here. You'd like to see Valley City get a little momentum back and cut this lead.
You know, five unanswered from the Trojans. Like I said, it was a make-or-break situation for Coach Micklejohn and the Vikings to get a timeout and regroup themselves going into the rest of the set.
Yeah, and I had a feeling there on that fifth in a row. Even though it's early in the set, you want to calm the troops down a little bit and see if you can claw your way back. Valley City has been here twice so far. They have been in a 4-point deficit twice.
Yeah, definitely. So, volleyball is a game of runs, too.
That's absolutely right.
Next thing you know, it could be 9-9 tie game, but definitely a timeout was needed to get regrouped.
Langerock, the southpaw, will serve. Dug up there by Bogenreif. Sadie Hansen sets it to Rosie Anderson. Good dig there, and I believe that was Reagan Van Rooyen. Free-balled over. Set Hansen. She goes to Lucas. Blocked there by the Dakota State Trojans. Van Rooyen. Blocked again there, Valley City. Morgan Frigi attacks. Dug up by Van Ruyen. Wathen pops it over. Dug up by Bogenreef. Lucas pushes it, and it's out. Good read there by the Trojans, as it was Sydney Shell down the side that elected to let it go, and Dakota State up to their biggest lead of the night.
What a set from the Trojans. The Vikings had the point won, but they showed a lot of heart and a lot of grit to finally get that one.
Langerock will serve, dug up there by Bogenreef. Hansen sets to Morgan Frigge, blocked, and again, another block by Dakota State. Good play there. Hansen, it's going to have to be free-balled over, and it is. Great play there by Van Ruyen. St. Hansen sets to Frigge, gets a tip. Valley City State cuts the lead to 4, cuts the deficit to 4, rather. Oh no, cuts the lead to 4. That made sense the first time. Don't need a second guess myself here.
Now you're a little bit more experienced than I thought you would be. You got the ropes all down.
Well, that means a lot coming from you. I appreciate it. We're going to have Ellie Rush here to serve. We got a little bit of an equipment issue. Tie the shoes. Ellie Rush is going to serve here for the Vikings. A serving specialist, as Ryan referred to her early in the broadcast. Vikings down 4. Dug up Shell. Langerock sets 2. And we're going to get, that's net violation there on Maddie Langerock. Going for the attack there, caught a piece of the net. Vikings ball. Ellie Rush will serve again for the Vikings. Dug up there, Shell. Langerock. Wathen probably wanted a little more forward, didn't get it. Bogenreef digs it up. Emma Lucas dug up there. That's Haley Wathen. Big attack there from Maris, blocked. Another big attack blocked by the Vikings. Dakota State will get the point though on the block as the Vikings blocked it out of bounds, and Logan Conlin will come in there for Haley Wathen, and Gracie Schumacher will come in for Ellie Rush. 11-7 here after 18 rallies. Set number 2 at the Gratian Gymnasium. Again, the Vikings will play Bellevue on Friday night with conference tournament implications. Frigge with the attack. Big block there. And the Dakota State bench likes that one.
Yeah, and like we've seen all night, like we've consistently talked about, that front line for Dakota State has just been exceptional.
Absolutely, and I believe that was Sydney Shell at the front, and she's had her fingerprints on this game early. Conlin will serve here for the Trojans. Dug up Schumacher. Sadie Hansen sets it to Frigge, tips it over, finds the middle. Maris couldn't get there in time for the Trojans. 12-8 Vikings. Couple substitutions for Valley City. Macy Friggen in, Lexi Thorsgaard in here, and she'll take the ball to serve. 12-8 here after 20 rallies for the Trojans. Serves up from Thorsgaard, dug up by Conlin. That's Langerock on the set, bit behind Wathen. That's Macy Wathen. Dug up there, Van Ruyen. Maris, big attack. Bogenreef pops it way up. It's going to be a free ball a little bit there for the Dakota State Trojans. Another attack, Maris, and that one pops over the hands of Schumacher. Probably wanted that one back. Point Dakota State. Couple substitutions. We're going to see Reagan Van Ruyen come in for Dakota State.
It's a great slide from Dakota State from their hitter.
Absolutely. J.C. Richter will check in for the Vikings. Serve will be Reagan Van Ruyen. Hansen sets Friggen, big block on the front. That was Grage and Maris. Dumped off, and bad read there by Logan Conlin. Sadie Hansen dumps it off into the open corner. Kate Van Ruyen will come on for the Trojans, and Delaney Clark for the Vikings along with Morgan Nelson.
That shows the experience from Sadie Hansen too. Seeing that the defense was set up except for that back left corner, and she read it perfectly and put it in the perfect spot where no defender could even get to it.
Yeah, great read from Hansen. She likes that little dump off. Clark will serve. Dug up there, Conlin. Maris tips it over, dug up by Clark. Sadie Hansen sets, looking for Nelson, blocked. Bit of a jumble here, Richter. Friggen with the soft attack. Back up to Hansen. She dumps it across. Good play there by Kate Van Ruyen, but no one can touch it after her as Valley City gets the point 13-10 here for the Vikings, or rather the Trojans. And again, Valley City hanging around, not allowing the Trojans to build their lead. Clark serves, dug up Conlin. Big attack there by Sydney Shell. 14-10 now. Couple substitutions. Madeline Groff in for the Trojans along with Brooklyn Grage, who's been a nightmare on that Dakota State front for the Valley City Vikings. 14-10 here as Madeline Groff will serve. Dug up Schumacher. Hansen sets to Macy Fridgen. Big attack. And it's going to be Dakota State point. She went wide left with the attack. And if you're Valley City, you got to start coming back into this game. Start clawing back.
Yeah, these are a big couple points for the Vikings. Sooner or later, you can't just keep hovering around the 4 or 5 range. Points are going to run out. You're going to get to 25 before you even know it.
Groff serves. Hansen sets. Morgan Nelson, big block. Back over the net, it's Groff. Grage tips it over. Richter digs it up. Fridgen with the attack. Block there. No one can get to it, and Dakota State's front again comes up big for them. It's Brooklyn Grage with the block.
Hannah Evans in the middle, number 10, has had a really big impact on this game. Her fingerprints are all over. No Viking hitter can even get it past her with her height and wingspan.
Groff will serve here. Sadie Hansen, Fridgen with the attack. Van Rooyen, that's Kate Van Rooyen, digs it up. Shell, digged up by Clark, dug up by Clark there. Fridgen, big attack, but it's out. Trojans lead by 7 on the attack error by Macy Fridgen. Groff back to serve. Dakota State adding to their lead here in a comfortable spot. Groff will serve. Dug up by Richter. Sadie Hansen dumps it over, finds the middle. Kept up by Dakota State, free balled over. Schumacher. Another dump by Sadie Hansen. Van Rooyen read that one, and a pancake, no. It hit the floor. The Vikings will get the point. Sadie Hansen tricking the Dakota State Trojans with that dump. She loves to dump it off. She loves to find the hole there. Rosie Anderson will come in for Gracie Schumacher. Vikings down by 6. Sadie Hansen serves. Groff sets it to Grage, blocked. Clark just got her hands on it, and that time Grage finishes the job.
And Hannah Evans again, number 10. Like I said, had her fingerprints all over the game. That's another block and another kill for her. She's been incredible so far in this second set, this entire set.
Trojans lead by 7 here. Let me get my mic a little closer so you can hear me. Rosie Anderson tipped over the block. Good dig up there. I can't see who that was. That was Groff. Clark sets it up. Fridgen with the attack, and it's blocked. Good read there, though, by the Vikings as it was blocked out of bounds. They trail by 6. Emma Lucas will check in for Macy Fridgen here.
It's now or never for VCSU. Got to crawl back into this game, down 6.
Richter to serve. Dug up there in the back. That's Wathen. Big, powerful attack, and she abuses the block, gets it through, and it'll be Dakota State's point here.
You can see she definitely tried to hit it off the hands of the Viking hitters, get out of bounds. A little bit of good strategy there from Wathen.
Van Rooyen, that's Kate Van Rooyen, the serve here. Clark digs it up. Goes to Sadie Hansen. Morgan Nelson tipped to the middle. Grage saves it. Bit of collision there, Dakota State. Nelson attack. Oh, and that was a tip was, Dakota State did tip it. I thought that it was Haley Wathen that got out of the way. Bit of a matrix move there, but must have got a tip before that. 19-13 here, second set. Valley City trails by 6. Reagan Bogenreif rather to serve. Dug up there, Sydney Shell. A tip into the middle. Good play by Rosie Anderson. Kate Van Rooyen keeps it up. Grage attacks opposite side. Dug up there by Sadie Hansen. Bogenreif sets it up rather to Lucas. Hansen sets to Rosie Anderson now through the hands of Kate Van Rooyen. And Rosie Anderson's got her 3rd kill of the night.
I'm going to apologize quick to number 18, Brooklyn Grage. On the Dakota State jerseys, you can't really see the middle. I've been seeing number 10 the entire time.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering where you're getting that number, but I trusted the analysis, and yes, Dakota State, big, powerful attack and a tip there. I believe that was Richter who got her fingertips on it. So it's going to go to Dakota State here. Makes it 20-14 Trojans. Grage and Groff will exit the game for the Trojans. And that is going to be Tristan Maris. And if I can see the number on her back, I'll let you know who else checked in. I believe that's Haley Wathen that just checked in. Hansen, big attack, Friggy, dug up by Sydney Shell. Langerock came in. Wathen attacks and wanted a touch, pleading for it, but it was out the back. Haley Wathen has had the attack working for her today.
Ellie Rush coming back in for the Vikings. Last time she was serving back there, VCSU went on a little run. I hope they can do it again.
Haley Wathen, 7 kills on the night. Ellie Rush, like Landon just said, out to serve, and it's just out the back.
It's a little bit of an announcer's jinx, don't you think?
Yes, sorry. Just started coughing there, but yeah, a little bit. Did almost have the back. Aggressive serve by Rush. Down by 6. You may, you think about it. She is a serving specialist. Logan Conlon to serve. JC Richter digs it up. Hansen, big attack. Friggy blocked. Logan Conlon digs it up. Langerock. Wathen finds the hole. And that's Macy Wathen for the Dakota State Trojans. And it's 22-15 for the visitors here in the Gratian Gymnasium. Looking to tie this matchup. It's 1-1. Logan Conlon to serve. Dug up Bogenreef. Set to Lucas. Finds the back left corner. And that's a big point there for Valley City. Lexi Thorsgaard going to check in, as well as Macy Fridgen. They're going to take out Emma Lucas and JC Richter.
Exactly. Only 3 points left until Dakota State gets to that 25 mark. See if the Vikings can even chip into the lead a little bit.
You got to get a block for sure. Langerock sets it up. Good play there, Bogenreef to dig it up. Attack by Friggy. Kind of fooled that Dakota State front. Gets back over though. Hansen sets to Friggy. Tips it. Middle. Maris saves it. Kate Van Rooyen. Maris will hit it over. Bogenreef digs it up. Hansen sets. Friggen. Big attack there. Conlon gets her hands on that. Sydney Shell. Didn't get much on that. Go back to Friggen for the Vikings to the middle. Good rally here. Kate Van Rooyen up to Tristan Maris through the Viking arms. And it'll be 23-16 here for the Trojans. Couple substitutions here for both sides. Richter back in, Schumacher in, along with Reagan Van Rooyen for Dakota State. She'll serve here. 2 points to 25 here for Dakota State. Friggen with the attack, dug up by Reagan Van Rooyen. Goes to Sydney Shell, and it's in. No Viking was around. Set point here for Dakota State as they look to tie this match all up at 1. It'll be Reagan Van Rooyen to serve here for the Trojans. With set point up 8, they got to be feeling pretty comfortable. Bogenreef digs it up. Schumacher sets to Friggen. Attack. And it's off the hands of Maddie Langerock. And Valley City gets at least a point back here. Kate Van Rooyen in for the Trojans.
Vikings still trying to win the set, of course, but it's important for them to get a couple points and try to build some momentum going into set 3.
And for Valley City, it'll be Morgan Nelson and Delaney Clark who's serving. Conlon digs it up. Langerock. Big attack, Maris, and that did not get a touch. Dakota State again giving up some points to the Vikings. Again, up 6, but you want to take care of business.
Exactly.
Delaney Clark will serve again for the Vikings. Dug up by Conlon. Langerock, Sydney Shell, dug up there by Clark. Good play there. Langerock gets a hand on it. Maris tips it, blocked. Stuff going on at the net. Sanson sets Nelson, tipped over. Langerock, Shell. Friggen gets her hands on it. Richter goes to Hansen. Bit of a collision there. Dakota State keeps it up. Sydney Shell tips it over. Clark digs it up. Sadie Hansen blocked. And the Dakota State Trojans will win set number 2 here.
A great display of defense from the Trojans too that set, because great defense leads to great offense, and that's why they came away with the set with the 7-point victory.
So we'll take a little break here. It's going to be 1 set apiece here for both teams. 25-18. The Trojans win the second set. We'll be back after the break.
At CHI Mercy Health, we believe human kindness is at the root of all healing, providing care on a human level, courage when it's needed most, and a connection that's ever present among us all. Human kindness is meant to be shared. It puts a smile on someone's face and seeks to do the same for others. Take the time to nourish what's inside and watch your life flourish outside, because taking care of yourself is an act of human kindness. Just like human kindness, happiness can come from the most unexpected places. Whether it's from your friend, your dog, or a memory, embrace it and pass it on. CHI Mercy Health of Valley City.
Hi, this is Clint from Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy in beautiful downtown Valley City, your only locally owned pharmacy since 1989. When you're locally owned, you care about your community and your customers. We offer a great selection of gifts and toys, as well as yarns, fabrics, sewing, and crafting. We are here for you from 9 to 5:30 weekdays and Saturdays 9 to 1. For all your pharmaceutical needs, give us a call, 845-5280.
Health Mart, taking time to listen and care.
Sanford Health of Valley City is dedicated to transforming your healthcare experience and providing access to world-class healthcare right here in America's heartland. We're committed to improving the human condition at every stage of life through exceptional care, spiritual enhancement, innovation, and discovery. Schedule your appointment today at Sanford Health of Valley City by calling 701-845-6000 or self-schedule online at mysanfordchart.org. Sanford Health, here for all, here for good.
And we're back here at the Gratian Gymnasium. All tied up at 1 here. Jaden Babiak with Landon Peel. We're getting the technology. It's been a battle with the technology today, folks. And even though he's not on the air, my counterpart, Ryan Cunningham, has been putting in the work for us. And he's been keeping this stream alive and afloat. Let's check out some of the leaders here. Macy Fridgen leads the Vikings with kills. On the other side, Haley Wathen leads Dakota State. Macy Fridgen with 8, Haley Wathen with 7. See what else we can take a look at here. Landon, do you have anything? We got Maddie Langerock, 10 assists. Sadie Hansen, 19 assists for the Vikings. And again, I'm looking at this sheet here. We're both looking at this sheet, leaning over, trying to find something to talk about. And
yeah, exactly.
JC Richter leads the Vikings with 13 digs. Sorry, Landon. And Kate Van Rooyen for the Dakota State Trojans leads them in with 10 digs.
I was excited to see how many blocks that Brooklyn Grage had this second set. But
well, what are you looking at here? What are you seeing?
I was looking to see if she had how many blocks she had, because she's been all over the game.
Well, hey, you let the fans know at home, how many blocks does she have here? Let's take a look.
Gosh.
Let's take a look. Well, I can't find them on my sheet.
Neither can I.
So I might have left the people wanting a little bit. But
whose idea was it to let two rookie volleyball minds talk about volleyball for
That's right.
3
That's
to 5
right.
sets?
Set, pass, dig. I think.
Something about that. Can't forget a kill or
That's
or
right.
hit.
That's
Can't
right.
forget that. That's how you score.
And there's errors and services, but we're underway here. Third set. It'll be Madeline Groff to serve here for the Dakota State Trojans. They won the last set 25-18. Morgan Nelson tips it over. Logan Conlon digs it up. Grage on the kill. Gets a tip from a Valley City State Viking. I believe it was Macy Fridgen that got her hands on it. It'll go out of bounds. Dakota State takes the early lead, 1-0 here in the third set. One apiece here at the Gratian Gymnasium. Serves up there. Sadie Hansen to Rosie Anderson off the net. Back over. Fridgen keeps it up. Sadie Hansen tries to dump it across. Sydney Shell, big attack, but it's blocked there by Rosie Anderson. She'll try again. Dug up by Delaney Clark into the fan base, though. And they're not going to be able to help her out there. It'll be Dakota State point. 2-0 for the Trojans to start this third set.
The Vikings cannot have a replay of last set either. They went down 5 right away and kind of hovered around that mark for the duration of the set.
Clark will dig up the serve from Groft. Big kill there. Macy Fridgen kept up by Kate Van Rooyen across now. Morgan Nelson tips it in the middle. Dug up by Sydney Shell. Grage, big attack our way. No touch from the Vikings, and they'll get their first point of the set. Emma Lucas will come in for Macy Fridgen for the Vikings. 2-1 here early in the third set. Again, one apiece here. Valley City won the first one, 26-24, and then Dakota State answered with a 25-18 score in the second set. JC Richter will serve, dug up by Logan Conlon. Groff will set it. Grage Bit of a miscue. I think it might have worked. It might have fooled Rosie Anderson, who tried to dig it up, went into the wall, the brick wall at Gratian. Playing in an older gym. A lot of character here. I know Landon Peel and myself, when Landon was a part of the baseball team, this is also the practice facility for the baseball team. So fun fact there. Clark digs up a serve there from Shell. Big hit, and it's going to be Dakota State's point. They wanted a touch.
Not going to get it.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in this gym, didn't we, Landon?
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of cold winter days just playing catch. Can't do much else in North Dakota for baseball in the winter.
Shell serves, Clark digs it up. Sadie Hansen in a bit of an awkward spot, goes to Lucas, dug up there by Kate Van Rooyen. Grage tips it over, Rosie Anderson gets a finger on it. Delaney Clark will have to free ball it over. Sydney Shell goes to, I believe that was Wathen, and on the return, Brooklyn Grage. Powerful attack there. 5-1 Trojans early in this third set. And again, Landon, you said it best. You can't let this Dakota State offense get rolling. You can't let these guys get out to a big lead.
Exactly, and good defense leads to good offense too, and that's been Dakota State's bread and butter.
Nelson on the attack. Good little save there from Van Rooyen. Grage tries the little dump off. And she hasn't really had success with the little dump today.
No, her big game has just been blocking the balls that come her way and then throwing down a ferocious hit when the time comes to it.
Friggy and Bogenreef in. Delaney Clark, and I missed the second. Out for the Vikings. 5-1 here. 5-2 rather. Serves up Shell. Big, powerful attack. I'm sorry, that's Haley Wathen. And I believe that's her 8th kill of the night.
Yeah, she's been incredible so far. Off the bench on the starting sheet for the Trojans, but she's come in just giving them a fire.
Well, Dakota State's gotten kills from everyone. They have 8 from Wathen, 7 from Sydney Shell, 10 from Hannah Evans. So they've been spreading the ball around pretty well, so it's hard to contain that kind of attack. Lucas, good keep up there. That was Madeline Groft over the net there. Bogenreif and Richter. It's going to have to be 3-balled over Shell. Keeps it up. Big attack there by Macy Wathen. And it's 7-2 Trojans.
Yeah, and that just shows how good that Madeline Groft and Maddie Langerock have been as the setters today. Just feeding the wealth to everyone, letting everyone get a chance.
Kate Van Rooyen to serve, dug up by Bogenreef. Hansen sets, it's going to be to Rosie Anderson. Anderson off the hands of Madeline Groft, and Rosie Anderson gets one back for the Vikings. Rosie Anderson, she's up to, well, let me find it here, Landon. She's up to 4 kills on the day. The Viking offense is certainly a lot better when she gets going. Obviously, you have to spread the wealth out, spread the floor to all your players there.
Yeah, definitely.
Set up there for Wathen. Touched by Ellie Rush, goes to Emma Lucas. Dug up by Van Rooyen, Kate Van Rooyen. Grage blocked. Kept up there by the Trojans. Wathen on her back foot gets it over. Hansen sets to Friggy, blocked. Sydney Shell. Wathen, Macy Wathen gets behind her. A bit of a collision in the middle. Found the weak space there between Richter and Ellie Rush. And she'll come out in favor of Gracie Schumacher, and Tristan Maris will come in for the Dakota State University Trojans with Maddie Langerock, who will serve. 8-3 here, third set at the Gratian Gymnasium. Left-handed serve from Langerock. Sadie Hansen sets, goes to Lucas, dug up by Kate Van Rooyen, who's done really well at that. And it's not able to be kept up there by Haley Wathen. Lexi Thorsgaard will come in for the Vikings, as well as Macy Friggen. JC Richter and Emma Lucas out. 8-4 here for the Trojans, and the Trojans have had an early lead in every set so far. Lexi Thorsgaard will serve. Langerock sets to Macy Wathen. Schumacher keeps it up. Sadie Hansen with her signature dump off. Dug up by Thorsgaard in the back. Macy Friggen finds the weak space there between Sydney Shell and Kate Van Rooyen, and it's 8-5 Dakota State.
I think what Valley City needs, they need a little bit more energy in Gratian Gymnasium. A little bit smaller of a gym, it definitely echoes a lot more. So I want to see more energy from the student section and from the end of the bench going forward.
Well, you told them, Landon, and I believe that volleyball does prefer to play in this gym because of that that very aspect. Sadie Hansen finds the weak corner, kept up. Tristan Maris, big attack, blocked there in the front. Bit of a miscommunication. Valley City's got to free ball it over. Kate Van Rooyen sets. Tristan Maris blocked. Valley City gets the point. Big block there from, I believe, Macy Fridgen. Valley City cutting the lead here. Trying to get back in this set. Lexi Thorsgaard will serve here at the back. Dug up there barely by Sydney Schell. Macy Wathen, big attack by the bench. Gracie Schumacher couldn't get to it, and Dakota State will get one back. Logan Conlon in for the Trojans. Emma Lucas in for the Vikings. Sorry, out for the Vikings. JC Richter will come in, along with Reagan Bogenreef. Sorry, Landon.
These Trojan hitters have just gotten their way with what VCSU has been trying to do defensively. Just the velocity coming off their hits has been too much to handle.
Absolutely. Bogenreef digs up a serve from Conlon. Hansen, Friggy, big attack, blocked. But it's on the Dakota State side, and Valley City will get the point. Delaney Clark will come in, along with Morgan Nelson. Morgan Friggy and Regan Bogenreef will come off. Delaney Clark will serve here for the Vikings. Conlon keeps up the serve, digs it up. Schell, big attack, dug up by Clark.
Great dig from Clark.
Friggen, dug up by Van Rooyen, set there. Langerock, Sydney Schell, into the fans.
And that was a great dig from Delaney Clark, keeping the play alive and giving VCSU another chance just to win the point.
Yep, absolutely. And you need those kind of plays when you're down in a set.
And VCSU has loved her effort to begin the year. When JC Richter was out with a wrist injury, Delaney Clark has really stepped up and been the anchor on the defensive end.
Big attack there, Maris. Dug up by JC Richter. Friggen with the attack block. Schumacher keeps it up. Sadie Hansen dumps it to the middle. Good play there by Langerock. Bit of stuff at the net, and we're tied at 9 after 18 here. And like you said, you need this gym to get loud, and they certainly are getting louder. 9-9 here, third set at the Gratian Gymnasium.
Great play from Morgan Nelson, reading the dump off about to happen and being there to block it.
Conlon digs it up. Maris, big attack into the net. And it'll be Valley City point, first lead of the set here for the Vikings.
VCSU gaining momentum. You can definitely hear Gratian Gymnasium. The decibels are rising.
Absolutely, and if you didn't have a scoreboard in this place, you could definitely tell what the tide is like. You could definitely tell if Valley City's doing well, because the student section gets up, the fan gets up, it gets loud in here, and that's what I said. I think that this volleyball team prefers to play in this gym rather than the bubble, because they get that noise. Van Rooyen digs up a serve from Delaney Clark. Maris, big attack, way beyond the line. And it's 11-9 Vikings with all the momentum here.
Makes you wonder when Coach Wienhoff over at Dakota State's going to use that timeout for the set.
Clark with the serve. Conlon digs it up. Langerock dumps it. Pancake there by Richter. Great play there. Friggen on the attack. Kept up, way up. It's going to hit the... And it's going to hit the, well, I guess it's a beam across the top.
I think that might be another reason why Valley City likes to play.
They'll take it for sure. It hit a beam. Again, there's a very low roof here.
I don't think that happens much at the bubble.
Delaney Clark serves. Over the net, Macy Wathen. Schumacher. Hansen sets it. Morgan Nelson. Dug up by Conlon in the back. Langerock will set it up to Sydney Schell. Good dig by Schumacher. Sadie Hansen tries to find the open space. Schell will tip it over. Schumacher keeps it up. Hansen sets to Nelson. Off the hands of Van Rooyen. And it's 13-9 rather Vikings. And, well, Amy Wienhoff, Dakota State's head coach, will take a timeout, and we will too. We'll be back with action from the Gratian Gymnasium.
When your team, school, or business needs custom apparel or promotional products, Rambo is here to help. With over 40 years of industry-leading experience, state-of-the-art machines, and dedicated employees, we have the tools and facility to handle any job. With online ordering solutions for sports teams and businesses alike, you can count on us to get the job done correctly and on time. Get your next project started, contact Matt, or visit us online at rambo.com.
Experience the thrill. Feel the passion. and join the excitement. Tickets on sale now at VCSUVikings.com.
Lang hard to the basket with a two-hand flush. He burst through it. He's to the end zone. Touchdown, Valley City State.
Here's the game-winning shot. Does it go? Yes, it does!
Nelson on the attack. Holland can't make the play. The Vikings sweep the Jimmy.
And we're back here at the Gratian Gymnasium. 13-9 Vikings, third set here. One apiece here in Valley City.
VCSU definitely went on a little run to cap off the timeout break, but much needed timeout from Coach Wienhoff at Dakota State to regroup.
Absolutely, most momentum that I think Valley City's had all night. They've been chasing quite a bit, but you like to see this if you're Valley City with their largest lead of the night. 13-9 here. Now you got to keep it going. You can't let Dakota State get any breathing room out of the timeout. Delaney Clark to serve. Dug up by Conlon. And a bit of stuff going on at the net. Valley City back over. Clark will dig up an attack from Sydney Shell. Morgan Nelson blocked, kept up by Maris. Macy Wathen. Macy Fridgen will keep it up. Back to her. She'll try and attack. It's blocked. Again, big rally here to start the action out of a timeout. And Sadie Hansen can't find the back. She tried the patented, well, it wasn't really a dump. She definitely hit that one harder, and she definitely has that ability, has that skill to make plays on the fly, make things happen, so they won't mind that aggressiveness from her.
Sadie's definitely been working on the hit a little bit. That had a lot more velocity than I expected her to have.
Reagan Van Rooyen to serve for the Trojans. 13-10 Vikings lead in this third set. Sadie Hansen will set it up to Morgan Nelson. Big attack, blocked, kept up. I don't know how that got back over, but it did. Richter, Morgan Nelson again. Conlon will dig it up. Maris will have to improvise. Good dig by Richter. Free balled over by the Vikings. Set up there, Sydney Shell. Big attack, and that time they'll find the open space. And I don't know, to be honest with you, Landon, how Dakota State ended up coming away from that rally with the point.
No, that's definitely a big point. That's definitely an effort play showing, and that's got to bring the crowd up for the Dakota State faithful here at VCSU to rise up a little bit on their end.
Well, you wonder how many made the 4.5-ish hour trip from Madison. Sadie Hansen sets it to Fridgen. Big attack, blocked again by Brooklyn Grage. And another block, and this time we're getting some note, and one team's going to be very upset here. It'll be Dakota State point. And the Valley City State bench not too happy with that one. We're going to get a little stoppage here. Clean the floor. Got to keep it safe for everyone here. And again, out of the timeout, Dakota State with 3 straight.
You know, that's kind of what they wanted to. Valley City had their own little run, but volleyball is a game of runs. So you expected Dakota State to come back in this game. That's just the competitive level of their team nature.
And almost a good time for that little floor sweep. Kind of get the energy back here for Valley City. Take a breath. Reagan Van Rooyen to serve. Schumacher digs it up. Hansen on the set. Nelson, big attack. Dug up there by Maddie Langerock. Schumacher now for the Vikings. Macy Fridgen with the attack. Dug up by Reagan Van Rooyen. Sydney Shell sends it over. Dug up by Clark. We've seen some good rallies today, and this definitely is it as well. Fridgen. Oh, bit of a miscommunication. Will have to be free-balled over, and Valley City wants 4 touches here. Morgan Nelson is blocked, and they'll get the point regardless. And I think they had a case there. Bit of a collision by 2 Dakota State players.
Well, didn't matter anyway, as Morgan Nelson got the kill for the Vikings just shortly after.
Rosie Anderson will check in for the Vikings. Here's Sadie Hansen to serve. 14-12 here at the Gratian Gymnasium. Set number 3. Big matchup here for both teams. Serve is dug up. Nelson will waste no time and hit that back over the net. 15-12, big play there. Good awareness by Morgan Nelson.
Back-to-back kills from Morgan Nelson. That's got to feel good for her own good, finally getting a fingerprint in the game.
Her 5th of the night here. Sadie Hansen will serve once again for the Vikings. Bit of a miscue. They're going to have to free ball it over Dakota State. Sadie Hansen up to Rosie Anderson. Blocked, kept up. They might have to free ball it. No, they're not. And it's wide. Wanting a touch is Dakota State. They're not going to get one.
Ball
3 straight. Sorry, Lennon, go ahead.
Ball kind of pinballed around the Dakota State defenders for a little bit and then finally sailed it away.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a panic play there. Sadie Hansen will serve once again. 3 points in a row for the Vikings, restoring their 4-point lead. Big hit there, Maris, and it's into the net.
You can finally start to hear the Valley City faithful coming alive here. That's the good part about Gratian Gymnasium, is that the sound just echoes around.
Absolutely. Matching their biggest lead of the night here. Actually, rather, they take their biggest lead of the night. Sadie Hansen again to serve, and she'll serve it into the net. Definitely not how you want that little run to end, but the Vikings restoring their lead. They're up 4 now. 30 rallies in to this third set.
Well, that's not what you wanted if you were a Viking fan. It had a rally going, kind of just gave them a freebie going back to the Dakota State
Madeline
side.
Groth will serve for the Trojans. Just makes it over the net. Ace, Delaney Clark couldn't come up with it.
Dakota State's gotten back-to-back points, but you haven't seen much of Brooklyn Grage so far this set. She had her fingerprints all over last set, but this set she's been a little bit quiet on that defensive line.
Groth will serve. Delaney Clark digs it up. Hansen to set. Frigid, big kill. Block, hits the antenna, and we're going to get a point. Point Dakota State. Oh, and there's going to be a little conversation here. Now, Landon, what do you see? I saw the antenna move. I think that it should be point to Valley City, rather. I don't think either bench will be happy with the call.
I'm not.
Let's see what it is. Valley City, yes.
Valley City point. I think what I saw was that the Dakota State defender touched the net on the way up to block it. That's I think what I saw.
Yep, I think that's why I saw the antenna move there.
But what all the fans at home are seeing are 2 rookie volleyball minds talking about something we don't have a degree in.
We could be completely off here. That's definitely right. J.C. Richter will serve for the Vikings, who have a 4-point lead in this third set. Very important third set here. They lost set number 2. You'd like to answer back with a set of your own. Richter will serve, dug up there. Bit of a miscue, but they'll keep it up. Shell tips it over. Lucas will dig it up. Hansen sets to Morgan Nelson, back foot. And Dakota State is not going to be able to keep it up. Was that Morgan Nelson there, Landon, I believe, that got the final? Yes, it was. She was on her back foot there and found some weak space in that Dakota State defense. Richter will serve here. Into the net. Second one in a few rallies here for the Vikings.
That's definitely not what you want if you're a
No,
if you're
definitely
a Viking
not. And you've had the momentum this set if you're the Valley City Vikings, so you don't want to do anything that may hinder that. As Sydney Shell will serve for the Trojans. Lucas on the attack, blocked there, and there's Brooklyn Grage, who's been a threat at that front. Sydney Shell digs it up, set there from Groth to Wathen, rolls around. Grage will keep it up. Groth will reset it to Wathen, and this time she makes no mistake. And she adds to her pretty big night here, leading that Dakota State team in kills. That'll be her 9th of the night.
Off the bench, mind you. So that's great to see off their bench.
That's right, and it's hard to neutralize the attack when it's all over the place. Anderson, big hit, finds the space and answers for Valley City. 2016 here after 36 rallies. Morgan Friggy in, Regan Bogenreif in for Delaney Clark and Morgan Nelson.
This would be a big set for the Vikings. Taking a 2-1 lead in your own gymnasium, that's got to feel good.
And remember, these Valley City, these same Vikings got swept the last time when they were in Dakota State. Served by Bogenreif off the net, kept up. Grage, big attack, kept up by Richter after the block got a piece of it. Dug up by Shell. Good range there from Groth. Finds the middle, Bogenreif, and we got another great rally on our hands. Sadie Hansen free balls it over. Groth sets to Wathen. That's Macy Wathen. Rather, Haley Wathen. Lucas over the net again for the Vikings. Set Groth, Grage, powerful. Sadie Hansen keeps it up. Rosie Anderson, they're going to have to free ball it over.
Really good rally here from both teams.
Wathen gets the final touch. 10 kills on the night for Haley Wathen. 2017 here, sorry, Landon.
You knew that she was going to get the ball back, that she was going to do some damage with it. She was going to say, this is an end of this point. I'm putting a stop to it. This is our point.
Kate Van Rooyen the serve here for the Trojans. Bogenreif, kind of an awkward keep up there. Rosie Anderson hits block there. Believe that was Maddie Langerock. Sadie Hansen, Lucas blocked again. Vikings doing their best to get it over. Emma Lucas Set up by Groth. Wathen finds the back note. Bogenreif keeps it up. Rosie Anderson here. Kept up by Shell. It's into the fans. Not quite, actually. Dakota State will keep it up. Free balled over, though. Bogenreif set up Hansen. Emma Lucas looking for the kill. Dug up miscue there. Sydney Shell's going to want that one back. Sorry, she had it right in the wheelhouse, Landon.
In a game of a lot of great rallies, Valley City getting that one when you're just that close to the finish line, getting that one's big for the momentum to keep going on their side.
Ellie Rush in for Rosie Anderson, the service specialist here. 21-17 for the Vikings. She'll serve. Shell digs it up. Groth sets. Macy Wathen blocked over, though, by Haley Wathen. A bit of a carry, and that's going to be a point to Dakota State. A bit of a carry there. Morgan Friggi tried to kind of dump it over, and Gracie Schumacher will come in for the Vikings. Tristan Maris and Maddie Langerock for the Trojans. 21-18 for the Vikings here in this third set, as Landon Peel has called it the all-important third set. It'd be good to get some momentum in your home gym for Valley City. Up 3. Friggi, big attack, and it's out. Valley City not lobbying for a touch. 21-19, Dakota State trimming that Valley City lead.
Yep, doing what Valley City State couldn't do last set. They're trimming the lead down to a 2-point game right now, trying to gain some momentum on the road in a tough environment.
Southpaw serve from Langerock. Schumacher, a bit of a miscue. Valley City's going to pretty much free ball it over, and lucky they kept that one up. Lucas out the back. Touch, though, by Dakota State, and they're not happy.
Called it a tip.
They are not happy at all. Are we going to get a discussion here? I think we are. Let's see what we got. Line judge said a tip. She doesn't, well, okay, it's going to be Dakota State point.
Point Dakota State.
Wow, and that's, I don't think they actually did make a call. I think the line judge had a tip. One of them didn't. And then I think they just made sure there was a little bit of confirmation before they made the call. So, preemptive call on my part. Langerock will serve. Dug up by Schumacher, Sadie Hansen. Emma Lucas, big power attack, and Valley City gets one back. And Lexi Thorsgaard, who was going to come in last point, is going to come in this time in favor of Emma Lucas, as well as Macy Friggen coming in for J.C. Richter.
Needed that point from VCSU to get some momentum back.
That's right, and you know what? Playing sports all your life, you know, you can only control so much. It's good to see Valley City State respond after that, you know, questionable call. Langerock sets it up. Wathen, and a big, powerful attack sends Schumacher back. And I don't think she was keeping that up. I don't think anyone was keeping that one up. Emma Lucas in here for the Vikings. Logan Conlon in here for the Dakota State Trojans, and J.C. Richter as well in for the Valley City State Vikings. Keeping our eyes on who's coming in, who's going out. Logan Conlon will serve here for the Trojans. Dug up Bogenreif. Friggi, big attack block. Bogenreif digs it up. Sadie Hansen sets to Friggen. Another big block and a touch on the antenna. It's going to be a net violation for Valley City. After 44 rallies here, it's 22-all.
We got a good game on our hands right now, Jaden. It's going to come down to the wire. I have a feeling this one's going to go all 5 sets for sure.
Timeout here, Vikings, so we will take a timeout as well. 22-all in the third set in the Gratian Gymnasium in Valley City. This is Viking volleyball.
Orthopedic pain is limiting. It's unpredictable. And when it disrupts the way you move, it disrupts the way you live. Life is better when you feel empowered to move the way you want, when you want. And that's where our experts come in. We're your guides to orthopedic and sports medicine treatment options that can manage your pain, rehab your injuries, and restore your confidence. Take back the freedom to move. Explore your orthopedic options at Sanford Health.
And we're back here out of the timeout at the Gratian Gymnasium. 22-22. Valley City State controlled most of this set. Dakota State clawed their way back in, and they've made this a very, very interesting set.
Well, you've noticed on both sides, a lot of effort play has gone into this set. Both teams have really given it their all this set, and it's come down to a 22-22 game.
Well, we've had good rallies all night here, Landon. It's been an entertaining match, and again, this has some conference tournament implications. Ryan Cunningham did mention earlier, back when he was on the broadcast, he mentioned that these are important games for Valley City for conference tournament placement. You don't want to go to Bellevue, you want to go to Jamestown, which is not a lot of people say that in Valley City, but in this case, the 30-minute drive rather than the 7-hour drive is definitely going to be helpful for sleep and rest. Morgan Friggy tips it over. Kate Van Royen keeps it up. Langerock, Shidney Shell. Block gets a piece. Sadie Hansen sets it up to Friggen. Big attack, finds the open space. To the right of Van Royen. Valley City takes the lead, 23-22. Delaney Clark in for the Vikings. Morgan Nelson in for the Vikings. Bogan Reef and Morgan Friggy exit.
Yeah, and Delaney Clark back in the game for the Vikings. Me personally, I think they're at their best when both Clark and Richter are on the backside in the defensive specialist spots.
She'll serve here. Macy Waffen didn't get a lot out in that one. Friggen, Kate Van Royen digs that one up. Set Langerock, Sydney Shell, who's been good tonight. Sadie Hansen sets to Friggen. Friggen tips it over. Van Royen goes to Tristan Maris. Big attack, but a good dig by Delaney Clark. Dumped over by Sadie Hansen, and it's set point Vikings here.
And there's the experience from Sadie Hansen, knowing when to use that dump and when not to. What a great play from Sadie Hansen.
And we're going to get a timeout here. Sorry, Lan. We're going to get a timeout here by Dakota State. This is Viking volleyball at the Gratian Gymnasium.
Lever's Foods, best quality, best price. Lever's Foods, best service, they're nice. Lever's Foods, they make everything right. Lever's Foods.
All this week at Lever's Foods in Valley City. Save big on Jack's Pizza, 3 for $9. Fresh Express salad kits, $3.29 each. Ritz or Nabisco snack crackers, $2.49 each with coupon from Flyer. 85% lean ground beef, just $4.59 a pound. And Kraft shredded or chunk cheese, only $1.88 with a coupon found in the Flyer. Delivery is available by calling 845-1732. Lever's Foods, Valley City.
We're back here in the Gratian Gymnasium. Timeout, Dakota State facing set point here. 24-22, the Vikings lead the third set. They've had the momentum. Dakota State clawed back. And 2 big points by the Valley City State Vikings out of their own timeout has allowed them to reach set point.
Yeah, definitely. Just need one more point in your own gymnasium to send this one to a 4th set and get a 2-1 lead going into the set 4.
Big point coming up here for the Vikings. Dakota State probably going to be playing a little defense here. Got to keep this set alive. 2 to tie, 1 to win for the Vikings. 2 to tie, that is Dakota State, as Valley City holds the 2-point lead. Delaney Clark to serve. Set point here in Gratian. Tipped over, not over the net though. A miscue by Macy Wathen. Valley City takes this third set 25-22 here at the Gratian Gymnasium. And they'll take a 2-1 set lead into this 4th set. And this is a big 4th set for the Vikings. We'll go to an intermission timeout though and come right back. This is Vikings volleyball from the Gratian Gymnasium.
Hey college students, are you looking for a part-time job that works around your schedule, pays well, and gives you free money for college every year? McDonald's offers all of it. We can work around your schedule, and we give $2,500 scholarships to everyone who works for 3 months and averages 15 hours per week. That's 2 full shifts a week or 3 shifts of 5 hours. It's that easy. Let us help you become our next scholarship recipient. Come join our team. Text ND29 to 38000 to apply today.
Looking for a college experience where you can get a degree and make a difference? Valley City State University is the top public regional college in North Dakota, as ranked by U.S. News and World Report. Visit today at vcsu.edu/visit.
This is Dr. Amanda Heck, physical therapist with Mobility Plus Rehabilitation, with offices in Valley City, Lisbon, Gwinner, and Enderlin. Our mission is to provide exceptional physical and occupational therapy by highly skilled therapists to minimize pain and maximize mobility, which allows you to return to the quality of life you desire. From sports injuries to work-related injuries, neurological diagnosis, and pediatric development delays, we will evaluate and educate you on your condition, review treatment options, and create an effective treatment plan to solve your impairments based on your unique situation and needs. I invite you to call our offices at Mobility Plus today.
While we get ready to go to the 4th set tonight, I want to thank the boys for taking care of it. Landon, Jaden. Jaden got to test drive the car a little bit. How'd it feel, Jaden?
I'm getting a visit here from Corey Anderson. Sorry, Ryan. So now you can turn your radio back up. You can turn your YouTube stream back up. You don't have to listen to me for this 4th set.
Is that what he said? He's not a very nice man.
No, that's what I'm saying. A familiar voice now. Everyone is comfortable with you in the driver's seat. I don't know if they're necessarily comfortable with me just yet.
It's just, you know what, it just comes with time. It just comes with time. We'll go to the fourth. The Vikings come back after losing the second set to win the third, 25-22, and we're on our way to the fourth set here tonight at Gratian Gym in Valley City. What a win this would be for Valley City State to try to pick it up. And boy, some really good momentum. That third set did not start well, but you talk about rallying. Valley City State really rallied in that third set.
Absolutely, and they did hold their biggest lead of the night in that set, and that's a big set. And Landon actually called it an all-important third set. Big momentum at home. You have the 2-1 lead now, and now you have the chance to put it away here without going to a fifth set where it can get a little dicey, going only to 15.
Yeah, the fifth set can always be dicey, and so if you've won that third one, you want to put this away here as we get ready for the fourth to get started. Ryan Cunningham back with you. Jaden Babiak with us here tonight as well. Jaden's going to have you on Friday as the Vikings will take on Bellevue here. So he's getting a little OJT in this one tonight.
Ace to start.
And an ace to get things started for Valley City State. Makes it 1-0 Vikings. That's the way to get started right there, to take the opening lead in the fourth set.
Absolutely, picking up where they left off, and they left off that third set with momentum, and Sadie Hansen will serve it up again here for the Vikings.
And she's closing in on a record. We'll talk more about that in a couple of moments. Vikings trying to rally to a broken play. Hansen will free ball it back over after it was sent across. Now up front, Grage, who gets blocked at least a bit. It's touched for the Vikings. Sadie Hansen from the attack line sent it back. Another play up the middle. This time it's Evans, and that was covered by J.C. Richter. To the right side for the Vikings, and there's a tip coming across. That'll come from Rosie Anderson. Numbers through 3 sets. Macy Fridgen, 11 kills. 7 for Morgan Nelson. She's also had a nice night blocking with 3 blocks. The Vikings need all of that so far tonight. 21 digs for J.C. Richter through 3 sets. Vikings lead it by a score of 2-0. Here's an attack that's long from the Trojans, and it'll be 3-0 Valley City State. They start off some really solid momentum in the fourth set.
Kind of start you want for Valley City State, wasting no time getting ahead, and you keep that momentum from that third set.
3-0 Vikings. Here's the serve to the middle for Valley City State. Back over to the right side. Evans, that'll be down. Evans off a touch will score. And Dakota State will get their first point to the fourth set.
I think J.C. Richter wanted that back. A bit of a miscue there, but it was an awkward attack there from the Dakota State offense, and they'll need to get going if they want to have an answer here for Valley City in this fourth set.
Slid a middle outside. This is going to put Sydney Schell in the back row, though, for Dakota State. And an attack that's down for Rosie Anderson from the Viking outside. You get to the fourth set, and everybody's turning their offenses around. Middles to the outside. Rosie's a right hitting outside. It's going to be a big fourth set. Lots of twists and turns in this one.
Got to make adjustments. Got to make mid-game adjustments. And after getting swept by the Trojans, Valley City wanted to make some adjustments for this one.
And they've done so far. Grage getting through a contact up front. Vikings set it up to the attack line. This will be Lucas going across. Van Royen was able to make the play. Back row attack from Schell. Tipping middle. The Vikings collapse on it. Hansen pushes deep. Van Royen was back. Grage from the outside. Dug up by the Vikings and saved on a pancake. Delaney Clark sent it over. Second contact try in the middle. Vikings cover it right side. Anderson. This place rolls if she hits that. Off the outside. This one going to be down from that outside pin. And the point will go to Dakota State. Haley Wathen getting the last play on it. What a rally between the two teams.
Add another one to that long list of great rallies here today, and we've seen a couple really good ones, Ryan, and both with you on the broadcast, with you off the broadcast. It's been a really, really great atmosphere here in the Gratian Gymnasium.
This one's been fun tonight. Serve on the way, taken up. Delaney Clark was able to get back to it. Hansen will set outside. Emma Lucas attacking. Passed by Van Royen. It stays on the floor for Dakota State. Van Royen will free ball it over. J.C. Richter passes up front. Morgan Nelson attacking, blocked wide. Point will go to the Vikings. And Sadie Hansen to start the set was 5 assists from a career record at Valley City State. She's already going to the Hall, we know that. But trying to cement it up individually as well as with that team from a year ago. She'll put another in the column there. 5-2, Vikings by 3. Reagan Bogenreef sending it across. Back to the outside, little tip over that time from Schell. Vikings keep it afloat. Freegee attacking, blocked long, and there will be net contact. That's going to go against Dakota State. Contact against the Trojans up front from Macy Wathen.
Valley City showing the early control here in this set. This is some of the best volleyball they've played all day.
They've got Dakota State concerned a little bit. Bogenreef shortening up that serve. It's an ace for Reagan Bogenreef. And the Trojans may not have a choice here. Long look from the sideline by the coaching staff, choosing not to stop it yet. The Vikings up 5. When you're in a fourth set and it's an elimination set, you really, really ration those timeouts as best you can. You don't want to use one of two when you're inside of 9 rallies in the set. Bogenreef to serve for the Vikings. Another short serve. Dive back row from Shell, kept it afloat. Grage going court wide. Vikings dug it up. Richter will set, and it'll be Rosie Anderson on a free ball over. Van Royen first contact down the middle. Big attack that's going to score for Dakota State to cut the Viking lead to 4. The attack coming from the Trojans, number 9, Macy Wathen, and it's tough. You notice that you get screened from the numbers when you're sitting down at this perspective?
Yeah, this is a bit of a different view from the old the LWE Osmond, and I think both of us would have preferred the setup there at least today.
Yeah, I think so. We're getting closer and closer all the time, though. Freegee through a block will score. More net contact against the Trojans, and again, they're going to get Macy Wathen. The Vikings are up by 5 at 8-3.
Yeah, some miscues here by the Trojans early, and my money here is another one for the Vikings, and I think they might have to put a stop to this and call a timeout. But that's just my money.
Michelle Micklejohn talking with our R2 on the near side of the floor. Not sure exactly what the conversation entails, but Coach Micklejohn appears to be, you could say, okay.
Yeah, they're calling a timeout here.
Now a timeout's going to be taken by Valley City State, and that's an odd time to call for timeout, and here's why.
That's right.
Sadie Hansen just set the record. So the Vikings are going to burn a timeout in this fourth set to acknowledge Sadie Hansen for what she deserves. She is now the all-time career assist leader at Valley City State. She came into this with nearly 900 assists on the season. As we go back to our players to watch tonight for the Vikings, and you can see on the right side of your screen, for those of you with our video coverage tonight, 863 assists. She's also hitting .230. She's added that transition to her game on second contact with 113 kills. She's one of the leader in digs. She's just, quite frankly, one of the best volleyball players that has ever made their way through Valley City State University. And she sent this team to a national tournament and has had a terrific career, and the Vikings use a timeout to acknowledge her.
Yeah, you're going to be hard-pressed to try and not find her in the record book, Ryan. She's going to be all over that thing, and she already is all over that thing, and now I think I understand the timeout a little better there from Coach Micklejohn.
I'll tell you what, if there was a process, just put somebody right in the hall after graduation, she'd probably be the one that fits for it, right?
Yep.
Off the far side, tip coming from Dakota State. Another tip from the Vikings, and didn't get across. 4 contacts against the Vikings. Point will go to Dakota State.
Now, for Dakota State, do you treat that as almost your own timeout that you were kind of gifted?
Yeah.
You can kind of reset. You come back to earth a little bit. You get your momentum back. And I know I'm not going to really analyze this timeout because you needed to take it, but Dakota State could have used it to their advantage too.
Attack coming near side. Emma Lucas will start to put some of that contact away. Leads by 5 again to the Vikings at 9-4. Emma Lucas with a nice night. The Vikings have had some real balance in their offense. Rosie Anderson, Morgan Nelson with 7 kills. Emma Lucas now has 6 to go along with Macy Fridgen's 11. Vikings up by 5 in the fourth set, leading 2-1. Back set right side, and a block goes wide. Nice save by Jaden Babiak. Ball coming this way. Tristan Maris will get the kill for Dakota State.
Well, when the technology's not working, you got to save it, because if that hits it, video stream, radio stream, I don't know if we're walking out of here with everything.
During the 2 sets that you guys took, I've been working on a little better plan for Friday night. I think we've got something a little bit more sturdy put together. Reagan Von Royen serving for Dakota State. Freegee, whistle, net contact again. 3rd net contact against Dakota State. Tristan Maris will be called for it. Point to the Vikings, makes it 10-5 Valley City State.
Yeah, everything kind of going wrong here for Dakota State. They left their miscues, they left their errors for this fourth set rather. Not the time you want them all to come out, that's for sure. Down 2-1. You got to find a way to get back in this fourth set.
Vikings leading 10-5 after 15 rallies on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. To the far side of the floor, Shell blocked down on the Viking side, however. Shell will get the kill. Lead cut to 4 at 10-6.
And Sydney Shell's been good here for the Trojans.
Brooklyn Grage comes back on the floor for Dakota State. And they'll have Grage along with Evans in the front row in this rotation. Madeline Groft is serving. This is the best offensive rotation now for Dakota State. Nelson having to push one over. Shell first contact, right side Grage, and it's down for Dakota State. Lead cut to 3 at 10-7.
And you need Grage and Evans to come alive right now. Their attack, when powerful, has shown that they can have success and they can absolutely beat down these Vikings.
Well, they have their number one setter, Madeline Groft, in the back row. So for 3 rotations, they'll have their top setter in the back row they want her. And this is the best front row that they have right now on the team. There's an attack that is scored from the outside. Maisie Frigid will get through contact. 11-7 Vikings by 4.
12 kills quietly for Frigid tonight. She's had her fingerprints all over this game here for the Vikings. Bit of an underrated player, I think, Ryan.
Well, and the hitting percentage hasn't been there for her tonight. She's made some errors as well, but good players just get there. Shell attacking will score, as does Sydney Shell for Dakota State. Frigid's numbers tonight, 154, which is below her season of a 220 hitter. 154 right now because of the 5 errors. She swung 39 times tonight, though, so plenty of the offense has gone through Macy Frigid for Valley City State. Delaney Clark passing for the Vikings. Frigid again got through a touch up front. Nelson blocking it down. It's taken by Groft out of the back row. A tip across, and Delaney Clark is there for the Vikings. Nelson getting through a block and scoring. Morgan Nelson attacking the contact, puts the Vikings back up 4 after 20 rallies of the third. 12-8 on the LaRue Locker Financial scoreboard.
Yeah, you got to keep this lead here if you're Valley City. You have the momentum this set. You've controlled most of the action this set. You got to keep adding to this lead here if you're Valley City.
J.C. Richter, solid serve. Van Royen passed it near the net, turns into a joust. Groft saves it, works far side. That might have been 4 contacts anyway. We'll see what they call here. Vikings going to get called with a block to their credit. Makes it 13-8 Valley City State. That attack was low. Vikings get credit for the block, and it's a 5-point lead again for Valley City State, and I don't believe they've led by more than 5 all night, and they won't hear Richter with the service error.
Yeah, that'd be correct. Their largest lead has been 5, and for Dakota State, I believe their largest lead is 4, so haven't had a lot of space.
Didn't they have a large lead at the end of the second set? Wasn't it 17-11 at one point out there? I thought.
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose so.
They might have had a 6-point
lead. That's why you're
there.
back. That's why you're back with me.
Near side of the floor, Groft will tip for Dakota State. Vikings trying to cover. Rosie Anderson gets through contact and scores. 14-8. They won't be updating the stats any further. Along with our technical problems, they're having some tonight. You know what we need is about $50 million to... You think you got $50 million back in Canada you could find?
No, I don't. I can't probably find 50.
Can't dig up 50?
But that just, no one's night is going to be easy. I don't think anyone's allowed an easy night. Stats, technology, stream. It's got to be hard. You got to earn your keep, I think.
14-9 Vikings. Get a block here if you can. That would be the key. Instead, it's a tip sent back over on first ball by Valley City State. Groft again, right side, goes court wide for the winner. Big player for Dakota State. We talked about her in the pregame. Brooklyn Grage, rather, not Groff, but Grage. Senior, right side. Brandon, South Dakota. Had a really good high school career. Will step off the floor now. And again, this is where the rotation starts to change a little bit for Dakota State. But the Vikings did well against their big rotation. Here's a block up front for Dakota State with Macy Waffen getting into the action. And the Viking lead has been cut to 3 at 14-11.
Macy Waffen, quiet good night though for the Trojans. She's had her fingerprints on a few plays that have turned the tides here.
Dakota State will serve again. Pass coming from Reagan Bogenreef. Little tip across from Morgan Frigi. Shell in the back row made the play. It's be tipped back up front and free balled back over after Maris sent it across. The Vikings have it. An attack coming from Emma Lucas. Taken back row by Shell. Another tip by Dakota State. Taken up by J.C. Richter. Right side, Rosie Anderson blocked but covered. sent up front by Sadie Hansen. Another tip from Lucas sent back over on a free ball by Dakota State. Second tempo attack that time from Sadie Hansen. And Dakota State's able to save it with Shell running it down back row. Right side Anderson. That one's dug up out of the back row by Shell and sent back across by the Trojans. Hansen again to the outside for Lucas. Van Royen dug it up. Shell is able to get there. Wathen will send it over. Another play by Bogenreef to the middle. Frege winding up. Blocked into a joust. And it's down on the Viking side as the joust is won by Macy Wathen for the Trojans.
I'll let you take a breath. What a rally by both teams there. Both teams with a few great plays. Dakota State getting back into it, getting their momentum back. And I'm going to talk as long as I can, Ryan, because when those rallies happen, you can't, you don't have any room to breathe.
Maddie Langerock will serve for Dakota State. Taken back row by Reagan Bogenreef. Morgan Frege attacking. Van Royen was able to make the play. To the middle again, another tip by Wathen, covered up by J.C. Richter for the Vikings. Rosie Anderson attacking back row. This is sent near the net, nearly hit the antenna. They want an antenna call to the Vikings, but I don't think it made contact. Rosie Anderson, and that one's caught by Jaden Babiak. It'll be a point for the Vikings on a kill for Rosie Anderson.
So the problem is now, who do I give the ball to?
This way.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately,
to the line judge it goes.
Don't have a jersey on today, so that's not going to count.
See, that ball's right back in play and going to be served.
Well, I'm probably sweating more than the players right now. We got a game ahead of us.
Cleaning it up anyway.
Yeah.
15-12 on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. Vikings by 3 in the fourth. The Vikings lead 2-1. Won the opener in extras. Won the third by 3. They were beaten in the second 25-16. And we'll see Ellie Rush in for serving purposes for Valley City State. Rush, good serve. It really stumped Shell out of the back row. She got to it. Be tipped over. Sadie Hansen swinging and scoring on the free ball that comes back to her. Hansen with the big kill, and the Vikings go back up by 4 here in the fourth set.
Tell you what, she has so many creative plays in her back pocket. She can make something out of nothing, and just another excellent read for Sadie Hansen.
Really wanted to become an offensive player here in her senior year, along with just being the assist player. Ellie Rush sends it into the net. Those are the types of errors that you can't commit when the margin is this small, right? I mean, you want to make Dakota State play the ball, and the Vikings give one back in an unfortunate error in that regard. 16-13. Trojans back within 3. Dakota State will have Logan Conlon doing the serving. Good line drive. Bogenreef attempting to pass. Schumacher sets up front. Lucas getting around, contact up front. Speed back set to the right. That's into the net for Dakota State. An error from Tristan Maris. And the point will go to the Vikings. They're back up 4 after 30 rallies of the fourth set, 17-13.
Yeah, they've had a few Dakota State have that just haven't hit right. Got caught in the net or getting blocked by Valley City. And when their attack's powerful, they've had success.
Phrygian back in for the Vikings. Little tip up front. Vikings can score here. They might force a timeout. Phrygian going deep. Hit the back line. Macy Phrygian attacking and scoring. Dakota State wants to talk about it as the lead is 5 for the Vikings in the fourth, leading 2-1. 18-13 on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. We've got a timeout for Mobility Plus Rehabilitation. We're back with more next.
Grotberg Electric believes in quality first, taking pride in the work and standing behind every project they do. They bring together the power, technology, and experience to keep your business online. The success of Grotberg Electric depends on 3 major ideals: the quality of their products, the commitment to their customers, and most of all, their customer service. Call Grotberg Electric today at 845-3010 or visit them online, grotbergelectric.com.
Timeout taken by the Trojans. Now this will work as effectively their second timeout, but they get 3. The Vikings used a timeout to acknowledge Sadie Hansen cracking the all-time career assist mark at Valley City State in this fourth set. Trojans needed that timeout. They've cut the lead to as few as 2, but the Vikings lead by 5 again, 18-13, with the Vikings up 2-1. Got a big finish coming up here in this one, Jaden.
Absolutely, and momentum has swung, and you know, that's kind of what you go to when you're being lazy. Momentum, though, is a huge thing, and Dakota State needs it back bad. This Valley City crowd's going to get louder and louder as we see more and more points happen here for the Vikings.
Lexi Thorsgaard to serve for Valley City State. Good line drive serve. Trojans playing it up front, off a touch. Vikings save one with Bogenreef. Macy Frigin put it down, and the Vikings are up 6. How about Reagan Bogenreef in this fourth set? She's made some wonderful defensive plays and passed well when it's time to move the ball up front.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's some of the stuff that flies under the radar, especially when, you know, someone like Macy Frigin's having a big night, but it's all, another bad
That hit
read,
the
yeah.
back line. It's Lexi Thorsgaard going deep, getting aggressive. Mom and dad across the way get up and enjoy that one as Thorsgaard comes up with an ace to put the Vikings up 7.
Yeah, and another miscue there by Dakota State.
Serve from Thorsgaard. This one short. Van Royen is there. To the outside, Shell through a touch. There's Bogenreef diving to keep it afloat again. Sent back by Sadie Hansen. Van Royen back setting to Shell, who will tip into a joust. Freegee had to send it across, and it's pushed back by Tristan Maris. The point will go to Dakota State.
Yeah, that one was wide open, that right-hand corner. Good play there by Maris, found the open space. And now you got to build off that, Ryan. You're down by 6 still. Not an easy road back for Dakota State.
If you're the Vikings, you just want a side out here. That's all you got to do. When they've got the serve, score with it. Put one away. Make a good pass. Schumacher passes. Hansen setting right side. Freegee having to tip. It's a lead off the net. Dakota State with the opportunity now. Shell through contact. Taken up by the Vikings. They got a good pass here. And a swing by Frigin is blocked at the net. Grage will go up to get that. Trojans back within 5 at 20-15. Or do they give that point to the Vikings?
It appears so.
They did. Okay,
Yep.
That's going to be a block that's down on Dakota State side. My apologies, folks. 21-14. Give Macy Frigin the kill. What do I know? 7-point lead for the Vikings. That's a huge side out. That's what you want to do when you have a team down. You don't worry so much about what they do when they're receiving serve. When you're receiving serve, you side out and put this thing away. To the far side, Shell from the outside, tipped by the Vikings. Point will go to Dakota State. 21-15. Trojans back within 6 here in the fourth. Vikings leading 2-1. Trojans have a timeout left. The Vikings do as well.
Got to hurry though if you're Dakota State. Valley City 4 away from putting this one away in a very important game for conference tournament placement.
Right side, Morgan Nelson, a
Wow.
huge swing.
Wow.
And saved out of the crowd by Dakota State by Shell. Second contact, tries going to score for Sadie Hansen. How about the swing from Nelson and the save from Sydney Shell going deep into the crowd to save that ball for Dakota State? You got to respect that athleticism.
Second row save there from Sydney Shell, looking like Mookie Betts in Game 4 of the World Series for the Dodgers.
Except the ball didn't get ripped out of her glove.
That's right. We won't have to ban any fans from the gymnasium.
Hansen serving, Shell blocked. It's going to go wide. And the point will go to Dakota State. 22-16, Vikings by 6. They're 3 points away from closing out the Trojans in 4 and getting a little revenge over Dakota State. Wouldn't have the tiebreaker. Dakota State won in a sweep, but they've given themselves a chance. We'll talk more about the standings in a bit. Nelson gets through a block and scores for the Vikings. Coming into the night, Dakota State, Valley City State, 4-4 each. You win this weekend, you're going to put Dakota State away. You got to beat Bellevue again tomorrow, obviously, or I should say on Friday. But you win them both, you're going to move up to number 3 in the league. Of course, you might not want that. Jamestown fell to 2. Here's an attack from Grage that goes long. Actually hits the back line, apologies. Lead cut to 6. And we'll see Hayes step off the floor. Evans, will step off the floor for Dakota State. 23-17, Vikings by 6 in the fourth. Von Royen will serve for Dakota State. Vikings make the pass. Hansen back setting. Morgan Nelson sets up match point, Valley City State, and the Viking crowd will come to its feet. Dakota State has a timeout to use that they're not using yet. And now they'll use it. Timeout taken by the Trojans. We'll keep it here. Well, because we had such an abbreviated pregame report and we didn't get a chance to show you what's coming up in the future, we do have the graphic ready, so we might as well go through. We didn't get to use it pregame,
right.
We can use it now.
Right.
Tomorrow night, we'll be back over at the Wii. Men's basketball's Briar Cliff and the Chargers comes to town to take on that Viking men's team that, along with the women, scored 479 points this past weekend. That'll be tomorrow night. We'll have that for you here on all locations. KOVC Radio, newsdakota.com, VCSU Athletics YouTube channel. Women's basketball on the road at Midland. Bellevue is back here on Friday night. Jaden's got that one. Football coming up on Saturday, and volleyball non-conference on Saturday as well. Football team taking on the Comets coming up on Saturday. Match point Vikings.
And the roof wants to pop here at the Gratian Gymnasium.
It
the
does.
fans are up.
Serve on the way from Reagan Bogenry. Von Royen makes the pass. Grage getting around contact. Richter dug it up. Set. Freegee through contact and puts it away. Morgan Freegee with the put away, and the Vikings will win in 4. 3-1. Your final score, Vikings 26-24, 16-25, 25-22, 25-17. The win pushes the Vikings to 5-4 in the league and into third place with a record of 13-12. Dakota State drops to 4-5 with a record of 15-11. And because we have some additional equipment stuff that we have to take care of tonight, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. Jaden, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Got some good feedback on what you were doing out there as far as second and third set. I feel like I'm leaving this thing in pretty capable hands coming up on Friday when you're here solo.
Well, I appreciate it, Ryan, but you know what? You don't have to lie to my face. I saw the YouTube comments, all nasty, all towards me.
I turned off the chat before you even set up the stream. It's fine. For those of you on the radio side, we'll send you back to regular programming. For those of you on the video side, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You've been with us for Viking Volleyball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel on newsdakota.com, and here on the Voice of the Vikings, the Voice of the Valley, KOVC.